Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time Traveler's Handbook. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the season finale of Season 12, titled The Timeless Children. Spoilers ahead. In the season finale of Season 12, the Doctor and her companions fight off the Cybermen, while the Master reveals the truth of the Timeless Child to the Doctor, revealing that she is not a true Time Lord, but that the Time Lords were created from her ability to regenerate, and she is called the Timeless Child. It is also revealed that she has no memory of any of this, despite having lived an unknown amount of regenerations before her memory begins. As I mentioned in the episode where we talked about the fugitive of the Judoon, the Doctor has incarnations of herself that she does not know about, and at the time she didn't know if these were future incarnations of herself or past ones that she didn't know about or had forgotten about. And now the truth has been revealed that she has a whole part of her history that she doesn't recollect at all, and that despite the Time Lords being believed to have a set number of regenerations before they run out and die for good, she is functionally immortal and apparently does not hail from the same time plane as what the Time Lords originally hailed from. I've been thinking about the best way to describe what's going on here in a unique way that I haven't really talked about before. For a lot of people, this was not a happy revelation because it seemingly spits on the legacy of Doctor Who and rewrites the history book of what was possible in this universe. I didn't feel that way at all. In fact, this revelation makes a lot of sense to me, and it adds a lot of character development to the Doctor that would otherwise not be present. But we've already talked about the effects of immortality and memory, so a lot of the stuff that we can talk about here is limited. Although this is a bit different from how we talked about it last time, because the memories of the Doctor were seemingly intentionally erased. So this does pose an interesting question. If the Doctor were exploited, or tortured, or in some way responsible for the things that happened while she was under the control of the Time Lords before her memory was wiped, is she in any way responsible for the actions that she took then? In the same vein, if you committed atrocities in another universe, then travel to a new universe and forget, or not even forget, that you had committed those atrocities, are you still accountable? In a universe with no higher judgment, I would often say that the suffering of others has to be taken into account, and that the accountability has to fall on someone's shoulders. Of course, all of this is kind of my personal opinions on philosophy. You can take this in another way, but I'm going to postulate about what I think. And maybe in this case, that accountability has to fall on the shoulders of the ones who were responsible for all of this happening, the Time Lords themselves. But we don't know because the Doctor doesn't have any known intent to have done wrong. And that's actually a big plot point in this episode. The Doctor doesn't know who she was before, but she does know who she is now. And that's the thing that matters to the people that she cares about and that care about her. I think the questions I posed are kind of unanswered questions that you can begin to answer in the frame of different kinds of time traveling universes, because in the end, a time traveler going and traveling through time is going against the natural law of the universe, and you have to wonder what kind of accountability they are facing for that. What is the punishment for someone who dooms an entire timeline knowingly or unknowingly through the use of time travel? How many rights do you have to commit to correct a wrong that you made in a life that you don't even remember? I think this episode brings up those questions and doesn't really want to answer them, leaving the audience to judge for themselves what they think about what these revelations will imply for the future of the show. And I really like when a show goes onto that philosophical level and challenges the viewer to think about really what the implications of this sort of a system are and how it can stretch to its furthest extremes. I'm really interested to see where the show goes from here and what the Doctor does with this newfound knowledge that she isn't what she thought she was. This is the last episode of Doctor Who that I am going to be talking about. Next time I'm gonna do kind of an overall summary of Doctor Who and summarize really what we've learned about how the universe works in Doctor Who from this exploration of all of the episodes of Doctor Who. It's been a real privilege to go through all of these episodes and just to explore really all of the different time traveling mechanics that have been utilized by Doctor Who, and I'd like to address them, but briefly, in the next episode. As always, thank you for listening.